Hello and welcome to Martyn Lucas Investor. My name is Sensei and we are here for the Sunday show. Thank you everyone for tuning in to the show live every single Sunday for the Sunday show. And today's a very exciting one of the biggest updates we've had in the SEC XRP case since we got the ruling that XRP was not a security. And that two things have occurred. One was Judge Torres's ruling, and the second was Ripple withdrawing from withdrawing their case and awaiting the SEC to also withdraw their appeal. So a lot to cover in today's video slash live stream. If you're watching us, we are live. If you're watching this later, you are watching it as a video. Either way, please do make sure you've hit the like button. Make sure you have subscribed. We are back. We haven't been doing the morning show for the last few days, but I am back and I'm excited to be back. And I'm excited to come back with this news, which, spoiler alert, I think is pretty good. Look, it's not the best news, but it's pretty good. And clarity and just moving forward, putting it in the rearview mirror, I think is important. I think having that, even though it's not the best outcome, and things can still go wrong. We'll explore that in a second, and I'll tell you all my thoughts on it. In summary, I'm not going to make you wait. I think it's pretty good news. I think it's pretty bullish. I think it means we can move on. I think it means the ETFs can come out. It means the SEC sort of have to be on Ripple's side, and that might help with the XRP ETFs. And I'll explain all of that very shortly. If you are here, thank you so much for being here. Welcome to the Sunday show, getting ready for the week. And in today's show, focused on the XRP SEC news. I will also be talking about ZBCN, ZBCN as well. My thoughts on that as well. So please do hit the like button, get the popcorn out. Let's get ready for an exciting show. Hey up, banana heads. Vaz is late again. Well, I can't say anything about that, Vaz. I was a few minutes late today as well, so don't worry. Uh, I can't fault you for being late to the show. So thank you, everyone. Let's get into it. Well, just by looking at XRP's price, if we go on to our favorite chart of XRP where we've mapped it out, $2 has held again. Last time we were live, we did say the last two times we were live, we were concerned about it breaking $2, but we always said $2 was support. That's why we wait for the daily candle closes. If you've been part of the premium Discord training course, you would know exactly what I mean. The daily candle closed above $2. The next candle confirmed $2 as support. And we've been up, since those 2 days we were down quite a significant amount from those lows. We are up 15%. We are eyeing up $2.30 again. I think with the general markets hitting all-time highs, if you've been following the newsletter, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you've been watching Martyn's show, you know exactly what we're talking about. The last few issues of the newsletter, you've seen the Nasdaq hit all-time highs, the S&P 500 hit all-time highs, the concerns around that, but also the bullish sentiment that's in the markets. That normally translates into the cryptocurrency market, so we might start seeing Bitcoin all-time highs next week, which will probably let XRP loose. What I mean by that is we've got a downwards trend right now. We trended towards $2. We hit $2. This downwards trend once again, we're expecting that to break. I mean, we've been tracking this downtrend a few times, and every single time we go to $2.30 and slightly beyond. What do I mean by that? Well, if we fail to break $2.30 like we did in April, we trend down towards $2. Once we break that downwards trend, we do break up, test $2.30. If we test its support, we go up to $2.62. Then that downtrend starts again. Fail to hold $2.30, come all the way back down. Then you've got this trend line facing downwards. You come up to $2.30 again. This time you failed to break it with and flip it into support and continue up. Now we've got that downtrend trended towards $2. Now we're looking to break this downtrend again. So you can see every single time we've broken this downtrend, we've either hit $2.30 and gone beyond, or hit $2.30 and got rejected. So we are expecting a break of this trend line, going up to $2.30 and either getting rejected to come back down or breaking upwards. My thoughts would be, if the general markets stay up, I would expect XRP to really start changing its momentum and breaking out of this range of $2.30 and $2, and start potentially ranging from $2.62 and $2.30, and at some point in the near future start to come out of this major accumulation phase we've been in, and potentially make new all-time highs. So that's what we're waiting for. That's the short term, the long term, and the medium term perspective on the price of XRP right now in a downtrend. Once that breaks $2.30, if that breaks $2.62, and then all-time highs once we start breaking those levels, I see that as quite a likely outcome. So that is the price action of XRP. But when we actually start looking at the news, let's see what that's all about, because you need to know both if you are an investor in XRP. Then we will come on to ZBCN, your questions and phase. I've just seen in the chat, I've seen a few things coming up as well. Oh, Mark Saxby's in the chat. Robinhood are having a live crypto event to catch a token tomorrow. Interesting. Very cool. Okay, so this is what's happened. For everything happened very fast this week, but it was all in the newsletter. I think this was on Friday's newsletter. So deeper dive. Judge Torres denies Ripple SEC settlement. What XRP holders need to know. We put this out on the newsletter, and this is the first step of what's happened since we've got Brad Garlinghouse's news, and I'll go on to that in a second. It's very hot in the UK. No AC over here, so it's a bit hot. So bear with me. So what happened? The ruling breakdown. On June the 26th, Judge Analisa Torres delivered a decisive blow to Ripple and the SEC. What did she do? Well, she denied their joint motion for an indicative ruling, marking the second time she has rejected their settlement attempts. The judge ruled that the parties failed to demonstrate the exceptional circumstances required under Rule 60B to justify modifying her August 2024 judgment. She said no. We didn't really expect it, but she did it. She says there is not exceptional circumstances. You didn't do a good job of explaining it once again. Remember, we did say they need to really start begging. They really need to start saying they did something materially wrong. They didn't, and she said you haven't demonstrated exceptional circumstances, so she refused the settlement. The proposed deal would have dissolved the permanent injunction on Ripple's institutional XRP sales and reduced the penalty from 125 million to 50 million. But Torres called the attempt procedurally improper, stating final judgments serve the public interest and can't be undone simply by private agreement. In her words, the parties do not have the authority to agree not to be bound by a court's final judgment that a party violated an act of Congress. Neither side, she said, came close to showing justification strong enough to override public interest considerations. Fred Rispoli analysis. The SEC hasn't really changed. Who is Fred Rispoli? So Fred Rispoli, I apologize if I'm getting his second name wrong, is a crypto attorney and founder of Hodl Crypto, known for his no-nonsense style and deep understanding of blockchain litigation. Rispoli has closely followed the SEC versus Ripple case and is widely respected for translating complex legal issues into investor-relevant commentary. And this is what he said. He had a very lengthy X post, and this is what he said. I'll break it down for you guys because he does do good analysis. He is a lawyer after all. And that's why I'm breaking down what he's saying. So, in a lengthy, and this was a few days ago, a couple of days before we got the response from Brad as well. So we'll get into that in shortly. But this is still very important. So he said, Welcome to the new SEC, more or less the same. In a lengthy and detailed X post, Rispoli argued that the ruling reveals that that despite changes in the administration, the SEC has not fundamentally altered its stance on crypto. His TLDR, too long, didn't read, so that's what, in his words, to sum up the X post, he said Ripple and the SEC will still settle for the reduced 50 million and move on. But Torres' ruling will remain intact, and that's exactly what happened. So he was spot on. That's what I put in the newsletter, so you would know exactly what we thought would happen. Ripple and the SEC will settle for the reduced 50 million and move on, but Torres' ruling will remain intact. So Rispoli cites two likely reasons for the denial. This is why Judge Torres denied. One was Judge Torres is frustrated over the 4.5 years of litigation and potentially though he admits this speculative, her resistance to being seen as a favourable to the Trump administration. So let me read that again. I feel like I've read that wrong. Rispoli cites two likely reasons for the denial. Judge Torres's frustration over 4.5 years of litigation, and potentially, though he admits this is speculative, her resistance being seen as favourable to the Trump administration. So one is because she's frustrated about the 4.5 years, the taxpayers' money, this, that, and the other. And the other reason, he says, this is speculation, but maybe she doesn't want to seem favourable to the Trump administration. It might be a political thing as well. I believe she is a Democrat. So where the motions fell apart. So he argues both Ripple and the SEC failed to beg properly. Remember, she needed to see material reason to overrule her ruling. That she needed to see something that would something that was procedurally improper, not just the Ripple and SEC have decided to make a settlement. She needs to see something went wrong, and that's why we're appealing it. Something majorly went wrong, and she didn't see that. This lawyer is arguing that both Ripple and the SEC failed to beg properly. Pages 3 and 4 of the ruling quoted the SEC's own language about Ripple's conduct being egregious and reckless. Rispoli suggested the motion should have included sworn declarations from SEC commissioners admitting prior overreach, such as, "I, Commissioner Pierce, voted against this ridiculous lawsuit." That's what Rispoli is saying should have been in that document. These commissioners coming in and saying, doing sworn declarations that this was very improper. There was people that voting against it. This is a ridiculous lawsuit. This shouldn't have gone ahead. Rispoli, a formidable lawyer, is saying that's what the SEC should have come out and said. But, of course, the SEC wouldn't do that. Why? Well, the absence of such statements, he said, shows the SEC chose to avoid admitting fault, likely due to institutional self-protection, not legal logic. So, has the SEC really changed? Not really. They do not want to admit that they did something wrong. They did not want to come out and do the right thing, which was saying this was a ridiculous lawsuit. They didn't want to even come out and say some commissioners voted against it. They didn't want to come out and say it's their fault and they shouldn't have gone after Ripple. So if the SEC was really, really pro-crypto and they had really changed and they didn't agree in this Ripple lawsuit, they probably would have come out and done that, but they haven't, and we expected them not to because of saving face. But there we go, and that resulted in basically not being able to settle. So the settlement's still expected. Despite the procedural failure, Rispoli predicts a quiet 50 million settlement with both appeals drops. The injunction, he says, is effectively just paper unless the SEC chooses to enforce it. Under crypto-friendly leadership, enforcement is unlikely. He also notes that the SEC could grant Ripple exemptions or waivers that nullify any practical restriction from the injunction, including those that could affect future IPO plans. So why retail shouldn't worry? Rispoli reassures XRP holders that the injunction doesn't affect secondary markets, nor will it hinder XRP's XRP ETF approvals. His bottom line: there is no material changes for XRP retail investors. And this is Stuart Alderotti. He is he is the XRP's chief legal officer. So this is directly from basically Ripple. So Ripple's chief legal officer, Stuart Alderotti, responded by saying the ruling gave them two choices: proceed with the appeal or withdraw it. And they withdrew it. Notably, Alderotti referred to the conduct as an issue as historical institutional sales, framing it as past behavior, not reflective of current practices. This language signals that Ripple believes it has adjusted its approach in line with Judge Torres' prior ruling. This is the Ripple Chief Legal Officer's X post. If you are still with us, make sure you have hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't done so already. We were talking about XRP for retail investors, the Ripple SEC lawsuit coming to an end. My thoughts on it, my predictions on it. We're also going to be coming on to ZBCN and other stocks and crypto in just a few moments. So we are starting with the first ruling that Judge Torres put out and what happened since. So we are talking right now about the Chief Legal Officer's X post. This is in response to Judge Torres has denied the party's motion for an indicative ruling. He said, with this, the ball is back in our court. The court gave us two options: dismiss our appeal challenging the finding of historical institutional sales, or press forward with the appeal. Stay tuned. Either way, XRP's legal status is not a security remains unchanged. In the meantime, it's business as usual. We know which option they went for, so they went for dismiss our appeal challenging the finding of historical institutional sales, and they haven't gone forward with the appeal. So what does this mean for XRP holders? So no change for retail trading. Most importantly, Judge Torres' denial had no impact on the XRP trading in secondary markets. The July 2023 ruling that XRP is not a security when sold on exchanges remains the law of the land. That is the biggest thing. I promise you, every other bit of this lawsuit does not matter. The fact that the appeals are basically over. We are expecting the SEC to drop their side of it. They haven't yet. But once that gets dropped, I mean, Ripple they obviously have a deal with the SEC. I don't doubt the SEC won't. There's always a chance, but it's a very small chance. The fact that XRP is not a security, that is the law of the land. That's going to be solidified. The case is going to be closed, and that's that. Is the most important thing. No other cryptocurrency has that ruling. Ethereum doesn't, Bitcoin doesn't, Polkadot doesn't, Dogecoin doesn't. Pick any, they don't. Of course, we know Bitcoin isn't. Of course, we've had some speculation that Ethereum obviously isn't as well. We don't think lots of these altcoins are, but no one has that court ruling. That is something massive for institutions. And secondly, that's the biggest thing. If XRP came out and was deemed a security, then oh my god, you would see XRP's price just, there's no point. I mean, it's finished really for retail investors. And the fact that that is the law of the land, and that's going to be solidified. The case is going to be closed. No one's going to appeal that. The thing that we were worried about is the SEC coming out and appealing this case based on that specific ruling that XRP is not a security. The SEC doesn't look like they're interested in doing that at all. It looks like they're interested, firstly, it looks like they're working with Ripple to put an end to it, and secondly, it looks like an end is coming. They were never going after the fact that XRP is not a security, and now the wider world will see that XRP is not a security. The law of the land stands. XRP is not a security. The SEC is dropping its appeal. It was not even appealing this, so we have no chance, in my opinion, that anyone's going to come out and say XRP is a security. Institutions are going to see that thing that everyone was scared about for years, that XRP is going to be deemed a security, finished, done. No one's coming back for it. The other issues that people talk about: institutional sales, secondary sales, or the institutional sales. That the thing that they're being paying a fine for. Whether it's 50 million, 150 million, who cares? Ripple has money. It's a bit more of a blow. 100 million obviously is a lot of money. They probably will come up to an agreement with the SEC. Obviously, the SEC can choose whether or not to take the money or not take the money. And the judge isn't going to make them pay. So they're probably going to pay 50 million. And even if they pay 150 million, that's no longer a problem. The ruling on the institutional sales stands. However, we know that Ripple have already changed their ways. So they're not going to be taken back into this courtroom, and the SEC is not going to take them back, because those institutional sales, the one that they've been fined for, because some of the sales were deemed securities, that's not happening anymore. Ripple have already said they've changed their ways. The SEC is not going to go after them anyway. So that's done, finished. You can forget about that as well. The case is coming to a close. It's already done. The XRP ETF outlook remains positive. The ruling does not delay or derail ETF prospects. Bloomberg analysts continue to assign a high probability, 95% now. They've taken it up. They keep taking it up to XRP ETF approval by the end of 2025. Mark my words, we will see an XRP ETF this year. We will see it. We will see it. Remember, it's not financial advice, but we can start getting excited. We're on the second half of this year. There's some ETFs coming up in September, October. Can't remember off the top of my head which specific ones they are. September, October, that the SEC has to make a decision. There's no more delaying. The SEC has to go yes or no. And in my opinion, they will go yes. So we are getting close to the fact of getting an XRP ETF. Not only are we going to get an XRP ETF, Solana, Litecoin, XLM, some of these top cryptos as well. We're seeing approval odds in the 90% now. We can get a proper altcoin season if the markets stay up, which they are up, making all-time highs right now. Crypto markets following suit, and when I said markets, I meant like the S&P, the US stock markets. That's happening. The crypto markets can start going up, making new all-time highs, and then you get that altcoin season with this basically autumn summer of just ETFs after ETFs, altcoin season in full force, and XRP leading it. So plenty to get excited about. Remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Please do not buy or sell based on anything I'm saying. My personal opinion, my personal thoughts, I'm excited. I'm holding XRP. I'll buy more XRP. Whether it goes up, down, or sideways, I'll probably buy. Less so if it goes up, more if it goes sideways and down. But I wish this wasn't happening this soon. I wish we'd have another 3 or 4 years to accumulate. Maybe we will. But it looks like it's happening. It looks like the case is coming to a close. It looks like these ETFs are 95% likely to. And this is not some crypto bull saying this. It's not me coming out and saying this. This is Bloomberg's analysts saying this. The betting markets are saying this. So it's not just one person's word. Get ready for the XRP ETF. It's coming. Also, let's continue with this. So the Ripple's business continues. Ripple has already indicated its institutional sales practices have changed. This is what I was talking about, with the SEC unlikely to file a motion to enforce this injunction and broad executive authority to waive restrictions. The operational impact is minimal. Settlement still the most likely outcome. Legal analysts agree with Rispoli. Despite the rejection, a 50 million settlement remains the most probable resolution. Ending the case for appeals would cost more and achieve little for each party. That was what I was saying before they dropped it. A couple of days ago, we got the news that they dropped the appeals. This is my thoughts on it all. So this is not trend reversal. This is noise, not trend reversal. Judge Torres rejected its Judge Torres' rejection is a procedural hardball, not a change in substance. The landmark decision that XRP is not a security on secondary markets remains untouched. XRP holders should see this as a delay, not a derailment. Rispoli's brutal honestly cuts through. The SEC is still protecting its image, but there is little appetite to keep fighting. The likely endgame is a quiet settlement and continued Ripple operations. meaning it's business as usual for XRP. Unlike the failed motion that tried to formally change the judge's ruling, that kind of settlement wouldn't need court approval. It just requires both sides to walk away quietly. Risk Bully now points to a key date.
Lucas Sun donated $4.99 through Super Chat. I couldn't spend all my money at the pub Friday. Tumbler glass emoji, cool face emoji, got to get you a seat at the pub Sensei and join. Appreciate you, red heart emoji, tumbler glass emoji.
Wow, thank you, RB, for super chatting on the Sunday show. It means a lot. You guys keep the shows going. Yes, I think I should get a seat at the pub maybe this Friday. Thank you, RB. Sorry, I don't know why that was muted. I apologize. I was just saying that we don't need to worry about what he said here. And we can go over to let's just make sure I'm running. Yeah, sorry about that. I was just saying we need to go over to what the news actually is right now. So Ripple is dropping their cross appeal, and the SEC is excited to drop their appeal. Sorry, is expected to drop their appeal. As they've previously said, we're closing this chapter once and for all and focusing on what's most important, building the internet of value. Lock in. That is wonderful to see. Ripple's dropping their cross appeal. The SEC is expected to drop their appeal. Expected, still not happened. I assume it will happen very soon. And as they've previously said, they're going to close this chapter once and for all and focus on what's most important, building the internet of value. And then they're going to get locked in. So there we go. The Ripple CEO Brad Galinthouse confirmed that both Ripple and the SEC are ending their appeals, bringing full closure to the XRP litigation saga. Ripple drops its challenge of the ruling that historic institutional sales violated securities law, while the SEC drops its challenge against XRP's non-security status in secondary markets. This move finalizes Judge Torres' 2023 ruling, meaning XRP is not a security on exchanges and the retail sales are free of restriction. The SEC can no longer pursue litigation on this matter, and Ripple accepts the 125 million penalty and the ongoing but currently unenforced injunction against institutional sales. The legal clarity cements XRP's unique position in it's the only major crypto in the US with US court-confirmed non-security status. Ripple is expected to shift its expansion mode, accelerating adoption for its payment products like ODL, growing global partnerships, and preparing for a possible IPO. With legal uncertainty resolved, analysts see a 95% chance of an XRP ETF approval by end of 2025, and institutional demand is expected to increase. US exchanges like Coinbase and Kraken are likely to relist XRP, which they already have, which could drive renewed trading activity despite short-term volatility. Long-term fundamentals appear stronger than ever. I just want to bring this to you guys right now. Obviously, it's not the finalized newsletter. I just want to bring you that information. So that's all done. As I said, my thoughts to you guys were this is very, very bullish. I think it's so great to finally put that case behind us. XRP is not a security. No one else can say that about their crypto project. XRP is not a security. It's coming to an end. XRP is going to $10. XRP is going to $50. XRP is going to $100. That's my thoughts. That's my opinion. That's not financial advice. Let's take it one step at a time. I think XRP is undervalued. I think depending on market conditions, with Bitcoin making new all-time highs, S&P making new all-time highs, I think XRP is waiting to break out. I think there's been a lot of underlying buying. I think we've seen companies start by using XRP as treasuries. We've started seeing XRP be part of tokenization. I'm bullish on XRP. What else can I say? And this ruling, I'm fine with. I'm happy with. Let's just wait, and hopefully the SEC aren't playing any more games. They drop their appeal. They don't go after Ripple in any other way, and that's the end of that, which is my expectation. But the SEC, we still need to be careful of them. They're not. We've got hints that they haven't changed fully yet. So that's the XRP news. That's the XRP case. That's what's happening. We're basically done. Just wait for the SEC to drop their appeal, but I'm sure they will. The Ripple and SEC have been talking behind the scenes 100%. Let me get your thoughts on it. This is made during a live video, so I want to get everyone's thoughts on it live. Please do hit the like button. Let's play the music while your thoughts and comments come in. And your questions. I'm going to put the music on. Everyone's going to hit the like button. Once you've hit the like button, you're going to come over here in the comment section, and I'm going to ask you very kindly to come over here and hit the like button. Let's celebrate a little bit. The people that are new to XRP, that haven't heard of XRP, if you're happy for us, the ones that have been for holding XRP for years and years, this is a monumental week for XRP, and the ETFs are coming. There's a lot to be happy about. So hit the like button. Let me know your thoughts and questions. What do you think about all of this going on and the end of the SEC case? Come into the comment section and hit the like button. Let's put the music on and let's celebrate.
The year is 1991. Birds and people are living together in seemingly perfect harmony, until one day a young man catches fire. This is Phoenix.
Smash the like button. Let's enjoy the end of the SEC case. I don't see anyone coming into the comment section and hitting the like button here. What's going on? I want people to come in and hit the like button here as well. Then we'll come on to the ZBCN. Your question, your thoughts. One more minute with the song. Hit the like button. Let's get to 200 likes and we will come back to the show. $126 likes. Let's get 24 more likes. Let's do it. Let's get 150.
Phoenix, you burst in a fire, burn a thirst and desire. You transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes. Phoenix, you burst in a fire.
Thank you, everyone, so much. Let's have a look at your comments, your thoughts, as well. I don't think we've got. I've others show charts that will show red and green dots at the top and bottom of wicks. Can you explain what they are or what they indicate and how they're used? Red or green dots at the top or bottom wicks. Changing 500. Please do. Sorry, changing 500. Please send a picture in Discord. I don't know what you mean. Judge Torres filling her bag before it takes off. If everyone's confused about their names, YouTube had an update the other day, and instead of using your display name, it's a unique username. How do you go and change it? We can go into your settings or just type in YouTube handle. It's called your handle. Just type in change handle YouTube or YouTube handle. I'm sure it will come up. You can go and claim your own username. That's why people's names are a bit different, and I apologize. And if you want to go back to your normal display name or something similar, then we will all know who we are. But I understand most people. RB is RB. Lucas' son. Smash the like button. Hard to believe 4th of July is right around the corner. Should we do some 4th of July merch? Let me know. Do you want 4th of July merch? Let me know. All of that information that we just had on the SEC case, even though I wasn't live, I've always said I will do the newsletter every single day without failure. People pay a lot of money for it. So I respect that, and I will always deliver that. And even though we haven't been live for the last few days, well, I haven't been on with my morning forecast show, I still did the newsletter. There is the newsletter link. Please do go ahead, claim your 7-day free trial, or join as a free monthly annual member, whatever you want to do. There is a lot of information in there. If I wasn't writing it, I would be a customer of it. I would. It is, in my opinion, the only newsletter you really need in the finance world. Hard to believe 4th of July is right around the corner, so the link is down below. I know we've got a poll running on it right now. 53% of you do not have the newsletter. That is a significant number, and that's not even the ones that don't want it any as well. So 53% of you watching don't have it. Do consider grabbing the newsletter. The link is in the comment section, and it's also pinned above. As long as there's fart coins, I don't think it will be a safe place. As long as you buy, hold it in a ledger, in a safe exchange, I think you're fine. I think you'll miss. I think there will always be fart coins. What do you think is a good size? What do you guys think is a good size ballpark XRP bag should be? Depends on everyone's situation. A billionaire would say 1 million XRP is not enough. I think it's depends on what allocation you want, how much risk you have, how old you are, all sorts of things. I don't think you should compare it with other people. Just as an example, if you had 1,000 XRP, if it goes to our long-term targets, you're looking at maybe it's crazy to say right now, but maybe 1,000 XRP in the future could be worth $100,000, maybe. In a very, very best case scenario, we're talking $100 XRP, 5-10 years time. This year, 1,000 XRP might produce $10,000. There you go. That's an idea. It can also go to 80% lower as well. So 1,000 XRP could be worth $200 at some point, $300, $400, who knows? Does Sensei like XRP more than the YouTuber Martyn showed on his channel the other day? Oh, that other guy. I don't think he's a YouTuber. I think he's a random guy on X. Just clicking there for views, trying to get views. They both like XRP. Martyn focused on the S&P. I think James was talking about Martyn was showing someone from X, who was just saying people are going to kill themselves over not holding XRP and going some really weird stuff. I think that's what he was going on about. I saw a clip of it. Let's get through this. I need that on my Saturday hungover primetime show as well. Yes, Vaz, you need the music. RB is loving it. Smash the like button, smash the like. Sorry, pressed the wrong button. So I apologise. RB saying smash the like button. There it is. Look what you made me do, RB. Need one of them mugs. Should we do another one of these? This style. I think a lot of you like this style, but do it with standing on the moon. Maybe that's something we should do. Standing on the moon says Matthew. That's a long username. If you want to change it, just type in YouTube handle onto the internet and you can change it. YouTube rubbish. Yeah, Vaz28. I don't like the Vaz Evtol. Maybe better. Vaz. Just Vaz, get on top of it. Change it. I even gave you the link on Discord. Actually, no. I think yeah. Don't worry. Just type in YouTube handle on the internet and you can change it. I'm not confused. I'm Martyn's son. RB Lucas' son. I don't like it, RB, to be honest. Apple looking for 205, selling soon, hopefully. Stephen Lundowski, change your YouTube handle. Change it. I don't like it. Steam1081. I guess it's not. Oh, and Stephen Lundowski, you got a 2-year badge. I love it. You can change it. Go onto the internet, type in YouTube handle, or go into your settings and change your username. I have not delivered this weekend, sorry. Oh, no worries. Vaz, as long as it gets above $2.47 and doesn't go back low, I'm winning, says RB. Wakey says RB. Almost buy, lol. Accumulation much as you can. Be patient and think back. You'll be okay, says JJ. Abel. Okay, let's have a quick look at some of our other holdings. We've got the S&P 500 sort of making new all-time highs by the day now. As I said, remember we analyzed this. We looked at the bottom 4,000. I mean, we literally caught it to the cent, the bottom. And then as soon as we went past the 786, we said all-time highs are going to be made, and here are the all-time highs. This rally is not fundamentally driven, in my opinion. There's no fundamentals really backing this. This is just one of the times the market is irrational, and you have to be ready for irrational markets. And if you think markets aren't irrational and you try and be rational about it, then you'll probably lose out. This rally can continue. This rally can go over to its next target, another 12% to the upside. It can. The markets can be irrational. They can be way above their price to earnings. They can be way overbought. The S&P 500, even on the daily, isn't even overbought yet. I don't think just because it's at all-time highs doesn't mean it can't go any higher. It definitely can. Does that mean it can go lower and crash as well? For sure, it can do that as well. Is this a bad time to sell? Well, it depends. How long-term are you investing? Do you have money on the side? Are you a margin? All those questions apply. I can't give you the advice because I'm not a financial advisor. I don't know your position. But it's never a bad thing to take profits as long as there's a reason to take profits. Just taking profits for randomly spending money isn't really a reason. If you're in the markets long term, there's no need to take profits. If you've got margin, if you've got to have money on the side, and you have bills to pay, then certainly makes sense to take your money out. What do I think about this rally? Well, I'm not buying. Would I be a holder? I would be a holder purely because I would be long-term investing. If there was any other reason for me to sell, I would sell. Can this continue? Can the market be irrational and continue all the way to the, another 10%? Of course it can be. We've seen the market be irrational many, many, many times. Same with the Nasdaq.
Adtich Malden donated $1.99 through a super chat. XLM charts? Cool face emoji.
Thank you for the $1.99 super chat, TJ. If we have time, we'll have a look at XLM. Remember, if you want to make sure we get it covered, if anyone else wants to do a chart request, you can do a $4.99 super chat. But I'm sure we will have time. You have been a member for a year. I'm just trying to have a look. I've seen Changing 500 said, you've sent me a message on Discord. Where have you sent it? What channel have you sent it in for? What channel did you use? Just let me know. Did you send it on Sensei? Changing 500. You sent it. Where have you sent it? Just let me know where. Same situation with Nasdaq. New all-time highs. Can it continue going? Is it overbought? If it's oversold, well, it's actually the Nasdaq is more in the overbought territory than the S&P is. The Nasdaq is
At Malden donated $4.99 through a super chat. Bruh.
Thank you for the $4.99, TJ. I did say we'll probably have time to do yours, and you're a one-year member. I was just inviting other people to do chart requests. I'm sure we will have time, but we definitely will do it now. Thank you, TJ. So yeah, same with Nasdaq. We said it's going to hit all-time highs after it went through the 786. Is it overbought? It actually is on the RSI on the daily. Can this continue? Of course, it can continue. In fact, you get if you miss the biggest 3 days of trading every year, you basically miss half your gains. So that's why it's buying with conviction and holding is normally the best route, unless, of course, everyone's situation is different. I can't say that's right for you, and I can't say it's not right for someone else. If you have bills to pay, if you have margin, there's all these considerations you need to make. Just understand your own position. Let's do XLM for TJ. He seems very enthusiastic to have a look at XLM, so let's have a look at it. And I appreciate this enthusiasm. So, XLM to me is a buy. Again, not financial advice. I think I added to my XLM position last night, just because I saw it's at 23 cents. I think this is definitely, sorry, I should rephrase. I shouldn't say definitely. Change your 500. You sent me a direct message on Discord. I only really accept direct messages from premium Discord members. You can send it to me on Substack as well if you are a newsletter member. Let me see if I can message requests. I wouldn't read into it. I've seen what you meant. They're not actually candlesticks. They're just some random indicators someone has that probably means nothing, and it's probably his own strategy. I wouldn't read into that much at all. It just overcomplicates things and normally doesn't work. More variables, worse your chart reading gets. So I wouldn't read into those. It's not an actual chart. It's not a candlestick changing 500. What you just sent me there is it is a random person's indicator that they use. Not anything to do with candlesticks. So XLM, I bought more yesterday, just because I think this is going to $1. So at least to $1. That just means it reminds me of the days where you can buy XRP for 30 cents, 40 cents. You can buy 3 for $1. Or 2 for $1 when I was at 50 cents. XLM is in the same sort of situation. You can buy 4 for $1, and at some point it'll probably be $1 or $2. So I don't think XRP's price would be that different to XRP's, maybe a quarter or half of it. So right now it's at 24 cents. I see it going to. Remember, it was at $1 here, and XRP was about $3, so it was about a third of the price. If XRP goes to $10, we can probably see a $2, $3 XLM. So I think it's undervalued. Because I think it will go up in conjunction with XRP. Yes, it's a good project within itself, but I think it's very linked with XRP's price action as well. Just on the charting time frame as well, if we go onto the daily time frame, I would say 22 cents is a possible level of support, with a strong level of support maybe around the 20 cents mark. Level of resistance is 30 cents, then 34 cents. Then above 34 cents, you've got this downward sloping trend line from the 2017 highs down to the 21 highs, down to 25 highs. You're looking maybe around 58 cents, and then you're probably looking at 80 cents. Then the highs of 2017, 92 cents, and then you can just pull out a Fibonacci from that high to around those lows, and you're looking at maybe $1.50, $2.50 as well for the top of the cycle if we get that proper bull market. So XLM is definitely, for me, in the lower risk areas. Yes, if we have a bear market, then we might see XLM come all the way back down to 10 cents. But right now, that's not what the market is looking like. The markets are at all-time highs on the stock side of things. Bitcoin is back above 100,000. XRP's case is coming to an end. It didn't break $2. Tariffs are looking like they're in check. The wars seem to be ending. If we get an altcoin season, this is, in my opinion, a nice accumulation area for XLM. I think, in my opinion, it's undervalued. It's close to support. The resistance is a bit further towards the upside. So XLM looking cool. Let's have a quick. Actually, before we go back onto your comments, has everyone got their 4-year anniversary mug, and has everyone enjoyed it? It's quite a cool one. Let me show you. So firstly, Vaz's Paris mug. I know everyone loved Vaz's stream, and if it wasn't the stream, it's the effort he put into it. He's going to do this again. He loved it, and I said to him, the most important thing is, did you enjoy the trip? And he said he loved it. The actual air show, maybe not the driving and getting sunburnt and where he was staying, but the actual air show he loved, and he's going to do it more and more for you guys. So he puts in a lot of effort to this. He's not just sat in the studio and doing the reporting. He went on the ground, built relationships, spent a lot of money, got all the equipment, and we've got his first. And he's going to do this a lot. So this is a mug to remember the event, Paris 2025, where it all started for Vaz. Only 10 available, not coming out in any other sizes. This is it, the big 15-ounce mug. 10 available. It's got Vaz on it. First time we have his logo on a mug as well. You've got Paris in the background, and there's only 4 left. So if you're a fan of Vaz, his show and what he does, and want a piece of history on the Martyn Lucas show, there is Vaz on his Paris Air Show. We all loved what he did in Paris. Then we've got the 4-year anniversary. The 4-year anniversary has happened. There's only 1 mug left. You can always see it over here. Only 1 mug left. Celebrating 4 years. Martyn is celebrating 4 years of his channel, and he brought on 2 new streamers this year. One was me, and one, well, as in a full-time streamer, and then we've also got Vaz. So you've got me, Vaz. First time my face on a mug. Celebrating 4 years. There's Vaz. There's Vaz's logo. Only 1 left. So be quick. Be quick. There is the last one. Or whoever gets it, this will now show sold out. If you want the latte version, the 4-year anniversary mug does come in a smaller size as well. The 11-ounce mug. If you want a cheaper version and you just want to remember the event, you've also got the latte mug as well. Remember, these are limited to 10. And also, if the latte mug and the 11-ounce mug don't sell out within a week, they will be gone forever. The 4-year celebration mug, go ahead and get it. The Vaz mug, go ahead and get it. Lucasades win mug as well. There's only 2 of these left as well. So this is the Lucasades win mug, and we definitely did win when that mug came out. So go ahead, go grab your mugs. Remember these events, they are big in the channel's history, and we are growing fast. And remember, actually, if you get a couple on the side here, you won't be able to see it because my screen cuts it off. I've lowered the amount you have to spend to get the discount. So if you get 2 mugs, you basically get a 10% discount. You get a piece of merch as well. I think if you get 2 mugs or 3 mugs, or a mug and a phone case or something, you then get a 20% discount. You also get the free gift, all sorts of stuff. So go ahead and go to that store. And get your mugs if you have missed it, because they are limited in number and time. Let's have a final look at your comments. We are coming up to the end of the show. We will be back for the morning forecast show as well. Just got the 4-year mug, says Dallo. You know what? I'm going to stay live for. If anyone, Dallo, I won't give away anyone's names or anything. It's always privacy. But I'm just gonna try and confirm if that was you. I think it was. Why would he say you wouldn't? Did you get the last one? Who got the last one? I think it's sold out. I think it's sold out. Sold out. The main one, the 15 ounce, is completely sold out. So that's gone. But you do have the 11 ounce, the smaller version. That is sort of this size. That's the smaller version. I don't know if you can see it. That's the bigger version, and then you've got the latte version. So the smaller version is this one here. 8 units available. The latte mug is this one. 9 left of this one. We've just released these ones. And then you've got the Vaz mug, only in the 15 ounce, not coming out in any other sizes. That is 4 left. If anyone buys a mug on today's show, let me know. I will check. I will do. You've got about 2 minutes. If you want to buy one, I will also do a chart request for you. And then we'll be ending the show and getting ready for the morning forecast. If anyone wants to buy a mug in the next 2 minutes, any mug, then go ahead, go to martynlucasshop.com and oh, brilliant, Dallo22. Yes, yes, Brian, got it. If you want a chart request, let me know. I have confirmed you bought one. I think you've bought 2 now. I think you bought one yesterday as well. Dallo, I think you bought one yesterday as well. You've got 2. Nothing wrong with that. You just wanted no one else to have it, making it even more exclusive. I love it. If anyone wants to buy one for the next couple minutes, I will also do a chart requests. Let's go to your comments while we wait and see if anyone wants to do that. Dallo, I got a Vaz mug. I don't know if you did. I think by looking at your orders, the mug you got today and the mug you got yesterday, they're both the 4-year anniversary. Let me know if that's what you want. Is that right? Is that what you wanted to do, Dallo? If not, I can switch it for you. Just let me know right now if that's what you wanted. Dallo/Brian, did you want one of the... Because it looks like yesterday you ordered a 4-year anniversary mug, 15 ounces, and today you've ordered a 4-year anniversary, 15 ounces. If that's not what you wanted, if you wanted the Vaz mug instead for today's order, let me know ASAP. Merch giveaway. No merch giveaway today. Is it too late to get in on Gorilla? I don't give advice. Let's have a look at GRR. Just a quick look. Certainly go higher, but I don't know much about the fundamentals. James 007 Secret Service. The name's Bond. James Bond. There it is. James 007. You got the username. I'm sure it must have been hard for you to find one, but there it is. Looks good. Just got the last 4-year mug. Oh yeah, you did want to get the 4-year mug. Brilliant. That's why you wanted to get the last one. I love it. I can't wait to get my Martyn Lucas Speedo. We will never sell that. I refuse to sell that. Maybe if all the mugs sell out, I'll go to another air show. Oh, we love that, Vaz. Vaz, why is your number Vaz.28? Change it. Please change it. Oh.
At Sammy Gem 5 Mew donated $5 through a super chat.
There it is. Sammy, thank you. Doesn't come with a comment. I appreciate the support. Sensei, I bought my first mug, the 4-year anniversary one. I can't wait for it to arrive. Sandra John 6241. Remember, Sandra, you can change your username. Just type in YouTube handle change on the internet and you can change it. You bought your first mug. I love it. It will arrive soon. I think most of our customers, most of the Lucasades, when they order, it takes about under a week. So if I look at some orders, an order that was created Monday, so that was this week on Monday, has already been delivered. So you can see it's pretty quick. So hopefully you get it soon. We're going to go to the extra channel next. I got a Vaz mug. Oh, you must have got it separately. I got the Vaz mug. Defo got the Vaz mug because I'm looking at it at the moment. Dallo, that must have been a week ago or so. I love that. Okay, so you definitely got that one.
At Money Making Mitch donated $5 through a super chat. SMCI chart update?
SMCI chart update. Money Making Mitch, thank you so much for your super chat. We'll definitely have a look at it. If anyone wants to get any of the mugs on the store, last call, last chance to get a double whammy. You get a mug in the next couple minutes. You also get a free chart request. So remember, Vaz's Paris mug, his first ever mug. The 4-year celebration mug, you've got it in the 11 ounce and the 17 ounce. They're going to sell out as well. The 15 ounce has just sold out. You can go ahead, or the Lucasades win mug. There was only ever 10 of these, and there's only 2 left, so that's pretty exclusive as well. If you want these, next couple minutes, I'll give you the link to the mug section of the store. There's the mug section. If you buy it in the next few minutes, we'll also do a chart request. But right now, we've got a super chat from Money Making Mitch for SMCI. Super Microcomputers, thank you for the super chat. Sammy has also super chatted. Sammy, your username's a bit weird as well. Sammy HM5MU. Go and type in YouTube handles, or change my YouTube handle. It'll take you to the setting page, or just go into YouTube settings, and you can choose a better one than Sammy HM5MU. Zebek update. I'll do a Zebek special tomorrow morning to give you all my thoughts. My thoughts haven't changed. $1 to me has always been a best case scenario, something that I'll hold a little bit of my Zebek for. And I've said millions of times, it is very, very unlikely. I said we're not getting it this cycle, we might get it in 5 years' time if everything goes perfectly. Or next cycle, 4 years' time. I also said this is a very new speculative token that can also go to zero. I don't think XRP can go to zero, but I think ZBCN has a road to zero as well as it has a road to a $1. They're both probably as likely as each other, $0 or $1. But there is a massive in between. There is a massive chance for a 10x, 5x, 20x. There's also a chance for a 50%, 80% correction. I told you where I took my profits, where I sold my initial, and I bought back more recently. I am holding for the long term. If I get a 2x, 3x, 4x, then I might start consider selling some and holding some for the moon. But I'll do a full deep analysis. Dallo22, because you've been a big supporter of the store as well and of the channel, we'll do a full special in the morning on Zebek. So SMCI says Money Making Mitch. Sammy has given us a $5 super chat. Thank you so much for what you do. Thank you so much for supporting. I want an XRP to the moon mug. We will do an XRP standing on the moon mug next. I think we've also got this XRP mug. Where's it gone? The only XRP mug we have right now. The other two have just sold out. Let me go on to the XRP merch. Yeah, we sold out in the 11 ounce, the 15 ounce XRP mugs. We've got this one, the 17 ounce, which you can get as the bundle. Once that sells out, we'll do the XRP standing on the moon. I think the latte mugs are not as popular with the viewers. Let me look at SMCI. Here we go. I'm glad you've requested this because we've already done all the work. We looked at the level of support, the accumulation at $32. Then we've been looking at this potential trading opportunity, and it's already in the money. Again, not financial advice, but buying at $40, even buying at $47 now. The daily candle has closed above. There is not much in your way until $61, $75. I am certainly bullish on SMCI, just looking at it from a charting perspective. Let me just look at this for a second, high to low. Potentially somewhere there as well. Yeah, you've got plenty of room to the upside. You've got higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. You went to the accumulation zone of $28, obviously a better buy there, but we can't look back on that. You've got your breaking resistance at $46. You've just turned it into support on Friday. Not much between $46 and $73. Maybe a potential money-making opportunity at $58 from high to low of that move. Fibonacci 786 gives you $58, so that's a potential level of taking profit. $58, $73, $82, $100, $120, $180. That's what I'll be targeting, and that's how I would ladder out my position. I'm more likely to hit these lower targets. I'm more unlikely to hit those higher targets, but that's what my strategy is, would be to ladder out, ladder out, ladder out, ladder out, ladder out. And SMCI right now is looking pretty bullish to me. Even getting in right now is not even that high risk, because you've just broken out of resistance and you've tested a support on Friday. So SMCI is definitely looking good. I want an XRP to the moon, Mike. I love it. Okay, it looks like no one bought any merch apart from Dallo. Thank you, Dallo. And you've sold out the 4-year anniversary. I love it. Okay, oops, sorry. Can you look at the red cat? Red cat? Sammy, what do you mean, the red cat? Sammy, I don't know what you mean, red cat. If that's a chart request, then just let me know in the morning forecast show tomorrow. I'll remember that you gave a super chat. I just don't know what you mean. Can you look at? Oh, look at red cat. Oh, it does sound like it's a stock. Oh, okay, maybe it's this. Red Cat Holdings. Never heard of it. Market cap 705 million. Oh, RCAT. Yeah, I've got it. Red Cat. There we go. Looks like it's a drone company. Maybe Vaz will be interested. Red Cat Holdings provides products, services, and solutions to the drone industry. It also engages in the provision of distributed data sources, analytics, and services for the drone industry. The firm product includes DroneBox. Interesting. Okay, let's have a quick look at the chart. Wonder what company they were in 2000. I definitely wonder what happened in 2002 and 2004. So confused with the beginning of this chart. I don't know what was going on over here and why. Very confusing. Between 2002 and 2013, that's 70,000. Obviously some stock splits going on. Reverse stock splits. So very, very interesting. What a strange chart we're looking at right now. But more recently, let's ignore all of that noise to begin with. It has sort of found a bottom around 59 cents. It's got a high here at $10. I think we need to ignore all of that noise, to be honest. It's definitely changed tune since 2024. Higher low structure is definitely a good sign. $10 is resistance. That's really important to remember. 786 is $13. Look, I'm looking at this chart, and sometimes look at a chart and you don't really get the best feeling from it. Technical analysis for this chart specifically won't be what I'm looking at. I would use it above $10. The sky's the limit, really. Probably back up to $15. In the short term, in the medium to short term, you've got a higher low structure all the way from 2024, which is good. Accumulation's happening. But I think with this, I've just seen Vaz said it's on his list for fundamental insights. For this, look at the fundamentals, look whether you want to buy it or not. It is a fairly small market cap at 705 million. The fundamentals will matter more than the charts, and the charts aren't giving me a direct trade setup or a reason to buy or not. It is giving me several indications. One is higher lows, which is a good news for that means more accumulations going on, but no direct. This is a low risk trade setup situation. So look at the fundamentals. Higher lows is a good from the technical side, but nothing jumping out at me. Thank you very much for that chart request from Sammy. Do you have time to look at Tars AI? Yes, you did do a. We bought a mug, so let's look at it. Tars AI says Dallo. Tars AI. Oh, I can't find it. Tars AI. Oh, is it crypto USD? Tars AI. Can you give me the ticker symbol? Oh, I think it's a crypto. Is it a crypto? The ticker symbol TAITA. Am I looking at the right thing? TAITA USD. It's a cryptocurrency. I think I'm looking at the right thing. Let me know. Just going to wait for the response because otherwise I might start looking at the wrong thing. In the meantime, if anyone wants to go check out the merchandise store, you can go and get your Raz mug or the 4-year anniversary mug. Let me give you the link once again. Dallo22, let me know. If not, let me know in the morning show. Won't let me change my name on at this time. Oh well, says Stephen Lundowski. Stephen Lundowski, it should do. Let me see. YouTube handle change. Yeah, just type in youtube.com/handle. youtube.com/handle, and you can change your handle. Anyone can do that. YouTube have changed the way they do it. So if you're confused about your username on on X, no, sorry, on YouTube live stream when you're typing your messages, it's because YouTube have changed the way they do it. They look at usernames, the handles. Just type in youtube.com/handle, change your username. Yes, this is the one. Again, unfortunately, this has only been trading since 2024, so we don't have too much data on it. You've got support at, so actually it'll be resistance at the moment at around 10 cents. Once you get back above 10 cents, the targets would be around 28 cents, and then the all-time highs around 50 cents. So I would definitely be looking at resistance above 10 cents, but more realistically, after you get above 10 cents, you'll be looking at 28 cents as your higher time frame target. Your all-time low is around 2 cents. I don't think you're coming close to that anytime soon, just because of how the rest of the market is looking. I don't know anything about the fundamentals of this token. You've also got support if you want to load up extra. Some people would be looking at the 6 cents mark to buy some more. Would I be more bullish or bearish? I'll be a bit more bearish because we're not above 10 cents, but as soon as we're above 10 cents, I think you can go up to 28 cents without a problem. Thank you for the request. I look forward to seeing everyone in the morning broadcast show. Get ready for the newsletter, which will be dropping before the show with all of this week's information. It'll be an exciting week. YouTube change handle. No, no, Stephen Lundowski. No, it's not. That's not wise. It's youtube.com/handle. YouTube doc. I'll give you. Shall I just give everyone the link? Let me just write it down. There you go. If you want to go change your username, click that link. youtube.com/handle.
At SammyGem5 donated $5 through a super chat.
Thank you, Sammy. That's very kind. Again, you haven't put anything in the comments. Maybe I missed it. Is there a topic coming up in Martyn's live? I don't know. No, it's I think it's the extra channel, I imagine. Let me see. And it's just the extra channel, so you can go in and talk to each other, getting ready for tomorrow. Steedowie, I don't recognise the name. This is an issue. Ever since YouTube have changed it, I'm trying to recognise people, but I don't. You're a 6-month member. I'm trying to remember who you are with your YouTube name. Go and change it back to something we recognise. There is the link, youtube.com/handle. Well, let me change it. It will let you change it. Just go on to youtube.com/handle. Thank you for the live show, Sensei. It's much appreciated. See everyone in the morning. Here is the link to the newsletter. Go and sign up to a newsletter. The newsletter always comes out before my live show. It gives you all the information. There's a free plan. There's an annual plan. Annual plan is obviously the best plan. 7-day free trial on that. Go and check it out. See you tomorrow for the morning forecast. I look forward to being back and going through the news of the day tomorrow morning. Thank you for joining me for the Sunday show. We are live every single Sunday. What a great day for XRP. It is finally the end of the SEC case. Sammy says he loves the newsletter. Sammy, thank you so much. It means the world to me that you love the newsletter. Hours and hours of work go into it. Does this bring back Discord and introductions? Does this bring back Discord? Does this bring back Discord introductions? YouTube has nothing to do with Discord. Take care of yourselves and each other, says JJ Boom. XYO, please. Sammy, you should really get used to putting a comment within the YouTube video, within the super chat. I apologize. It's so hot in my room right now. I'm going a bit delirious. Sammy, you could have put that's the point of when you do a super chat. You put what you want in it, so, but it's fine either way. You're just at risk of me ending the show and not being able to do a request. Looks like we've looked at this before. Remember, a lot of the cryptos you've been requesting, I think you and Dallo have been requesting, are quite low market cap, quite risky, probably downtrending cryptos that only perform well in the altcoin season. So remember that. And I can tell by just looking at the chart, it's not a mainstream crypto, and the market cap is pretty low. So be careful with these. Certain downtrend, you can see downtrends there. It'll probably trend down to potentially 0.0075 and then 0.002. Those are the buy side of things. If it starts to get going again, you're looking at 4 cents, 6 cents, and 13 cents. I don't know anything about the fundamentals of this crypto. Once again, I've never heard of it. I know it's a volatile one because you can see that in the chart. You are on the lower side of things. So remember, it gets volatile for a couple of weeks. It pops up and then comes straight back down again. So always be prepared to take those profits, or even have a limit order set up to sell when it hits maybe 4 cents, 6 cents, or even something like 2 cents. You are in an uptrend right now. If that uptrend breaks, get ready for 7 cents. Oh, sorry, 0.007 and 0.004. 0.004, 0.003 is probably your strongest level of support, and that would be an area I'll be looking to buy some more. That's XYO. Remember, this all counts on altcoin season. All these cryptos, these smaller altcoins, most of the time rely on altcoin season. Sorry, I'm such a disaster, says Sammy. I love it. Steve Dowie is my other online name and business name for the past 30 years. Sorry, but I'm not changing it. No, that's fine. Stu Dowie. Was that always your name? I'm not asking. I'm not saying you have to change it. Online name and business name for the past 30 years. I'm just trying to remember. Was this your name? What we used to see on YouTube as well. Your display, was that your display name as well? The only reason I'm saying is because I know a lot of people's names have changed and they want to be remembered for who they were before. And I just don't recognize. Maybe I'm just going crazy. Take care of your money, yourselves, your crypto, but most importantly, take care of each other. Exactly, James. You can only change your username every 14 days on YouTube. Is that the case? Interesting. Thanks for letting us know. Okay, fire it in there, lol. Thank you everyone for tuning in. There is the newsletter link. You'll get that tomorrow before I go live. Make sure you are ready for the tomorrow morning forecast, 2 hours before opening bell, 1 hour before Martyn normally goes live. I look forward to seeing everyone there. Until next time, thank you for joining me back for the Sunday show. Take care of yourselves. And also, if there's any XRP big fans, make sure you share this stream out. Put it on X, put it onto your group chats. If you've got an XRP, people that are for your friends and are interested in XRP, just send them this video, because the beginning of this video gave the explanation about the whole XRP SEC case. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Tomorrow morning, I'll see you all. Take care of yourselves, your money, your crypto, and each other. Bye-bye.